Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Phoenix Nights. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Wow. Feels like my first time again. That's how long it's been. And I can't stress how happy and relieved I am to be back in the driving seat, back on top of the main stage, and also reconnecting with you all. So thank you for bearing with us. I know our mods have done a marvelous job, whilst myself, Eric, Luke, and the rest of the internal team have been away, building the empire in person. Now it's time to keep you all updated and, most importantly, answer some of your most pressing questions. So if it's your first time joining us, welcome. Let me be the first to welcome you. How we do this is Eric and Luke will be joining me up on stage any minute. We'll start with some updates. We'll then go to a short announcement before answering some of the most pressing questions that you have as a community that have been upvoted throughout the week. And then we'll open the floor. And all you have to do is simply put your hand up, raise your hand. It's in the bottom of your screen to request to speak. So towards the last 15 minutes, and usually we run over, you'll have a chance to come up on stage and ask your questions and put the boys in the hot seat. All of these are recorded, so don't fear. I know this has been an hour later, especially here in the UK. I understand as we'll be pushing midnight by the time we finish. If you do need to hop off and handle life, don't worry, pick up on the recap, both the written recap and the replay within the next 48 hours. Now, we have a few announcements to make. I see Luke has entered the room. I'll wait for him to join. In the meantime, I'll update everyone with my little ventures. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, talk about the universe. But last week, I was hosting the Freedom Conference by Coach JV. If you're not familiar with Coach JV, he is one powerful human being, that's for sure. A crypto educator, but also a holistic coach, mindset, health. There was over 100 attendees who flew out to Phoenix, Arizona. Many of them were Phoenix Nights, and I think I've met some of you who are actually listening right now. And it was a lot. And I'll be the first to admit, I had my first ever anxiety attack. And it's one of those things where you don't know what's happening to your body in that period, which is weird because throughout the conference, 30 odd people were coming up to me. A handful of them were crying, telling me how much we've changed their lives. And you'd think, but Jordan, what's there to be anxious about? The anxiety hit me because it made me realize just how big we really are. And it may feel small seeing little icons on this screen, but when I go to bed at night, yeah, I'm carrying families on my back, and so's Luke, and so's everyone in the background. I opened up to Luke, who is a role model of mine, a mentor of mine, and he reassured me that, Jordan, look, when we have these highs in crypto, and especially what we're doing here, you need to understand there's going to be a big crash as well, and you need to balance yourself out. And so I'm learning how to deal with success anxiety, so it doesn't get the better of me, and I can keep showing up. So Luke, welcome up on stage, sir.
Hey man, how are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. You know, I was
Good.
watching a great video by Charlemagne the God, who has a book about success anxiety. So yeah, I'm learning.
Good work, man. Thank you for sharing your abilities as well. It's an important part of growth, and it is. I think you articulated it really well. We do carry the weight of the community on us, and every single thing that we do is about the community at mind. And when we do have great successes, we have to understand that the body does need to rest as well. And sometimes it takes you into shock. It will shock you into resting. It'll say, "Whoa, you need to rest now," because you have to come back down to earth. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, doesn't it? So, yeah, no, well done for learning, and it's an important part of growth. Now we're waiting a few moments for Eric. Eric is slightly delayed, so I don't really want to progress without him. So, is there anything we can talk about, Jordan, in the time being?
There are a few things, and I want to make sure that, Luke, you're prepared. So if you head over to our Teams chat and make sure you've got the preparation channel open, so everyone's ready for the announcement and for the updates. Whilst you're doing that, Luke, Showtime, welcome up on stage, sir.
Hey, Jordan. I'm driving at the moment, so hopefully you can hear me, but thanks for having me up.
We sure can hear you now.
Hey, Showtime.
Whilst waiting for Eric, everyone, you're familiar with Showtime, 2KX, or if you're not, Showtime, would you like to introduce who you are, and more importantly, what's your role with Phoenix Community Capital now?
Who am I? Who am I is it's quite a story. I'll keep it brief. I've been in crypto for a couple of years. Was a IT analyst for many years for government, and ran my own e-commerce business. Was always a entrepreneur at heart, but always a contrarian as well. So crypto was kind of the perfect sort of gateway, I would think, following that path as something that I would do, just given my contrarian nature. But yeah, been in crypto for a couple of years now. Started educating people last year. Started a channel which was very popular. Just always looking to research what's new, how to best help not just my family and the people around me, but everyone else that's involved in the community. And of course, being in e-commerce and sport, especially in social media, have a pretty strong grasp on a lot of the marketing elements, the sentiment, the thoughts, where people are at kind of in their journey. And so, being with Phoenix since even before the beginning, was just able to really get a good feeling about Eric and Luke and the project as a whole, and was just always willing to offer any kind of advice or anything that would potentially help the project be as successful as possible. So we've had some talks recently about me joining the team, and so today was my first day being the new Chief Marketing Officer for Phoenix.
Ooh.
Boom. And welcome on board, Showtime. It's fantastic to have you on board. You've been, an excellent support since the start, so it's nice to finally make it official. So yeah, man, good work. Welcome on board.
Thank you, guys. Looking forward to killing this together and making this an even greater success than it already has been.
Agreed. It's gonna be beautiful, man. Especially when we explain what's going on next. Now Jordan's going to be moving into a really important role for us. You're going to be seeing it come to fruition over the coming weeks. But we've given him quite a mammoth task, and it's going to be so important as the ecosystem grows. So I'm super excited to have Jordan as our Vice President of PR. So good work, Jordan. 10 out of 10, man. You're doing amazing and killing it, brother.
Muchas gracias. So yeah, before anyone thinks I'm running away, I haven't had enough just yet. I'm grandfathered in here. They'll have to pull out my little hair that I do have before they can remove me. So what I'll be doing now, everyone, is I will be in the rooms with the smart money. We talk about this all the time, follow the smart money. Well, I'm going to make sure that I'm hosting, presenting, speaking, judging, and networking heavily. So basically, when Luke and Eric can't be in the room, I will be there as an extension. Naturally, I've built out a marketing team, which Showtime now will handle accordingly as we build to become not just a multi-million-dollar company, but a billion-dollar company. And for myself, I'll be building my own small little team to ensure that our public relations around the world are handled accordingly. So, exciting future ahead. But of course, everyone wants to know, what is your future? Eric, are you with us? Are you live and ready, sir?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Marvelous. We sure can.
Fantastic. I apologize. It's not the usual microphone. I'm still in London, unfortunately, so I'm on a headset.
Unfortunately, I won't take it personally.
Well, sorry, it's not unfortunate that I'm in London. It's unfortunate that I don't have my microphone. My apologies.
Not to fear.
He actually really likes it here, which is good.
I like it everywhere I go, honestly. I can't find downsides anywhere.
Brilliant. Well, Eric, the community all want to know what's happening with phase 2. And I know internally we've worked tirelessly ensuring that we communicate effectively all the details. Are you ready, Eric, to announce the first part of phase 2 for everyone to understand what's happening next?
I certainly can. So we've gone over a lot of details on phase 2. Luke and I were in a room together, and several times this last week, trying to hammer out what the exact details would be. We had a general idea in mind, but we needed to hammer out all the details. I apologize if you can hear. I've got the window open in my hotel room. It's kind of warm. So if you hear the idiots driving around London like it's a motor speedway, I apologize. Yeah, these guys.
We can't hear anything apart from you, man. You're all good.
Oh, good.
Loud and
No,
clear, bro.
there's people driving like it's a NASCAR race outside. So I'm glad you can't hear it.
No, you're.
Yeah. So Luke and I spent some time this last week talking about finalizing the details of phase 2, and I think we have some really amazing stuff to look forward to for all of our current investors as well as future investors. What it's going to look like. So I apologize. I don't have we had a prepared statement and I don't have it
It's in your
front of me at the
Telegram, man.
moment.
It's in your Telegram.
right.
That's what I said.
And the good news is, everyone, after this AMA, we will be posting a Medium blog with the link to everything that will be shared here today. So do not worry if you can't take it all in this one sitting. You'll have a chance to see and feel exactly what it's going to look like moving forward, and there'll be future updates as well. So we don't want to overload you. We want to give you just in time.
Why don't we, while Eric's preparing, give him like 10 minutes to just get that up. We'll talk through the House of Lords event. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
So some of you may have heard, we got to do a presentation in the House of Lords recently, which was really nice. Date coincided really well. Spectrum Reveal Party too. So yeah, it turned out to be quite the week. Put Phoenix Community Capital in some large rooms, around some large people with some large conversations. We've been making great strides in the world of metaverse. We've not really shared much with the community just yet, because it's all kind of under wraps, but it plays a large part in our roadmap. So because of this, we've been entering into some interesting conversations along the road, and they culminated in us speaking about Phoenix Community Capital and the work that we're doing in the House of Lords over breakfast. We run a light award ceremony, recognise some great people within the industry, alongside Baroness Uddin, and then we went upstairs into a chamber, and we hosted a roundtable discussion about the challenges facing DeFi, about crypto regulation within the UK setting specifically, and then the global setting later on. It was a really interesting conversation, and the work that we're doing within the DeFi space is really being noticed, which is good. We were very, very clear when we came out, when we launched Phoenix Community Capital, that we were launching in the dirtiest space in crypto. It was like a rug city. And we planted our flag, and we started a movement of almost self-regulation of a space. And I think that it's important that we've done that, because I think if we didn't, I think a lot more eyes would be looked on this part of DeFi in a lot harder way. So we've got a really, really solid footing within the crypto sphere now, which is nice. Phoenix Community Capital's name carries a lot of credibility and weight now, and the House of Lords has turned into a profitable venture. We have some wonderful things which have been secured on the back of it, and I hope to be able to announce something huge on Wednesday. I just want to confirm it before I do, in line with Spectrum. But it's been a really mind-blowing week from that. The team that went did amazing. It was a fantastically orchestrated event. Did you enjoy it, Jordan?
I sure did, because when I looked around the room, we had policymakers at university, we had policymakers within government, policymakers within our own industry, and to see us all coming together, collaboration over competition speaks volumes. And seeing you and Luke and Eric to lead that charge, yeah, it was a powerful moment, that's for sure. And of course, we moved over to Spectrum Reveal Party.
I'd just like to finish on the fact that we're the first people to go to the House of Lords and talk about NFTs in Metaverse. It's not been done before. So we like doing world firsts. That was one. And now Jordan can take the second amazing act of last week. Carry on, man. Sorry.
No problem at all. And then, of course, the following day, I kept my voice intact. We headed over to Tape London, which was voted the #1 nightclub in London a few years ago. And iconically, is notorious for hip-hop culture. We had 300 plus Phoenix Nights descend on Tape London, to the dismay of the owners. Now, it was remarkable to finally meet so many of you who had travelled as well to the UK. Got the chance to meet both Luke, Eric, the CEO as well of Spectrum NFT, Brent Robinson, who sadly can't be here tonight. And he does pass on his dear sorrows because, of course, he's recovering from some sort of flu. But yeah, he's worse for wear, and we'll be sure to reschedule Brent's appearance. So all of you can virtually meet Brent as well. We announced 2 collections, one of which everyone here knows about, with Shannon Briggs bringing his collection to our NFT marketplace. Shannon Briggs is the 2-time former world heavyweight champion of the world in boxing, formerly known very well for shouting "Let's go, champ," and has become quite the promoter. Just like that, Luke. And has now started to support a number of young and up-and-coming boxers as well. He will one day be stepping back in that ring, and we'll be right behind him. So keep an eye out for Shannon Briggs's return. Keep an eye out for his collection. And of course, we'll find a way to bring him closer to you as well, along with the other celebrity collections we have coming to Spectrum NFT. The night was ultimately a fantastic night to celebrate the success that we've had so far, but also to entertain a certain media outlet. Now, Luke, are we happy to announce that media outlet before everyone sees the assets? Actually, no, that's a Showtime question now. I'm not the CMO no more.
Gee, I was about to say, be very careful, because I get told off for telling things that I shouldn't be telling. Okay. So, I'm happy to.
My lips sealed.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to. I think it's.
Share that.
Where's Showtime? Yeah.
So I'll let Showtime announce the media outlet that we spoke with.
Yeah, let Showtime.
Yeah, of course. If he joins us back on stage, then he'll announce it tonight. If not, everyone's going to have to wait. But we were speaking with a number of people that wanted to do rather large amounts of investments with us, both future deals, investing also within nests with us. It was one of those situations where people buy people. People do business with people they like. And most importantly, people they can feel beyond on camera and on a phone call. We still can't replace human touch. And so a lot of those meetings were made. Luke and Eric, of course, will hold me ransom if I release any. So in due time, now I'm not even the CMO, I can't even make these announcements. Long story short, we ended the night about 1 a.m. The festivities continued, and we answered a lot of the tough questions as well, which was most important. Showtime's back on stage. Showtime, are we allowed to announce the media outlet?
Yes. So the BBC UK showed up and did some interviews with some of the folks in the really great conversation.
Oh no, you've broken up, Showtime.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you really well either.
Is this better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I think I was getting a phone call right when I was talking. So the BBC UK showed up and did some interviews in the VIP lounge, and we spoke about Phoenix Community Capital, Spectrum NFT, and what we have going on. So we will get that material out. But yeah, the BBC showed up, and that was quite a big deal.
No doubt about that.
But for an Englishman watching the BBC every day, that was quite a nice interview to have. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the BBC. It's not a big deal, right?
You say just the BBC.
It's
like
just the number one news organization in the world.
Exactly. The BBC, yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal. No, probably nothing.
I'll tell you what, it was quite frustrating that night, being in the VIP room, wishing I was in the other room, Luke as well.
Yeah.
Because the BBC were there and they were interviewing us, and it kind of took longer than we wanted to. So if you were there at the event and you didn't get to see Luke and myself, we deeply apologize that we spent as much time as we did in the VIP room. It was not to snub the community or sit on some kind of a high perch. It was just because we were engaged in that room with the BBC. That's the only reason why. So if we missed you, we deeply apologize.
We did get around a bit though, so to those that we met,
did. I shook a lot of hands, met a lot of people. It was an amazing time. Thank you everyone who came.
It was a wonderful, wonderful event. And we do have such an amazing community, and it was lovely to meet you all and hear your stories. Man, I've met some amazing, amazing people, and some beautiful conversations to follow up on as well. But yeah, no, the Spectrum reveal party was absolutely awesome. It was wonderful to get so many like-minded individuals and individuals from different industries together as well, all in one place. It was a who's who in the UK crypto scene, which was wonderful. So to those of you that came along, I hope you made some excellent contacts and had a wonderful evening as well, because we surely did. But you know, that's just the start. Now we have to bring this beast into action, and we've announced Shannon Briggs, which is huge. We do have a number more lined up that we're going to drop over the coming weeks. We hope that you like them as well. So no, yeah, it was brilliant, and well done, Jordan, Tyrese, and like the rest of the team, man, who worked tirelessly to get that event up and running. You all did an absolutely wonderful job. Yeah, it was a brilliant evening. Thanks.
Our pleasure. Our sincere pleasure. Eric, any updates from you, sir? Are we ready to announce the update for phase 2?
We are indeed. So first, I'd like to say that phase 2 has been a bit ambiguous over the last couple of weeks. We apologize for that. We had some ideas, Luke and I, where we wanted to go with it, but we had time to reconsider and listen to the feedback from the community. So we've listened to all of your comments and questions over the past couple of weeks. Everyone's understandably concerned about what will happen after the nest cap, obviously so. So as we transition from the seed phase to the growth phase of the first round, we need to define what that looks like. So as you know, the transition is essential in order to create sustainability over the long run. To do that, we need to move from a revenue-based model like a traditional dividend, we need to move to a revenue-based model like a traditional dividend, with the revenue being supplied by our incubator projects like Swapsicle, Griffin Kingdom, Spectrum NFT, Combat Waffle, and our partnership with Billy Drop, as well as others. So that's the idea, the framework around what phase 2 is going to move into. So we have this concept of a 3-phase within a round. So let's call it a round. I think we had a conversation about this earlier internally, and so we'll call it a round. And we have 3 phases. We plant the seed, we let it grow, and then we harvest. And so everyone should be thinking about that as we move forward.
I mean, it's a much healthier way to plan for like the next 5, 10 or 15 years, isn't it?
Right.
It allows us to prepare, for the long haul. Is, make no mistake, that's what we're here for. So, I mean, there were some questions and concerns. So, we'll just address those directly, Eric.
Yeah, you take the first one. We'll share them together.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I mean, there's some positive. It's all positive, which is good. So first of all, we heard you. We know you've been concerned about how the profit share from the incubation projects and partnerships would be paid and when. We mentioned an XYZ token or some kind of stablecoin. We've gone for a stablecoin. So what will happen is you'll be entitled to a share of the profits. It's 1/100,000th of profits per nest, and that will be sent in an airdrop directly to your wallet every month. Now, then you have access to a bonding mechanism to receive your stablecoin from that. So, carry on.
As an example, if we were to make $30 million per month in profits, just an example, emphasizing it's just an example, it's not out of the realm of possibility or outside of what we expect. One nest would make $300 per month, paid out in a stablecoin, airdropped on a regular basis, and then extracted via the bonding mechanism. Right. So think about that for a minute. How many nests do you have? Let's say you have 10 nests, or maybe you have 50 nests. You can do the math yourself, but that's $3,000 US dollars per month on a $30 million per month in profits basis if you had 10 nests. So as we said from the beginning, this is not a millionaire minting machine. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is passive income. This is income that generates for you on your behalf because of your investment without any direct input by yourself. That's what passive income is. And we've said it from the beginning. It just needs to be reiterated.
Now, on top of that, we didn't think that would be enough, really. So we know how attached you are to our FIRE token. We love it. So we're happy to tell you that in addition to your share of the profits from the projects on round one, we will be paying every nest a 0.06 FIRE token per day as a bonus to the stablecoin dividends. And there'll be a proportionate increase for NFT holders as well. So that's great news as well. So it means that you'll be able to have a FIRE accrual as alongside the return of profits from the projects that we've launched. Now, some of you carry on.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I think it's important to tell people. Sorry to cut you off, Luke, and interrupt. I think it's important to tell people how they're going to be paid out, because we talk about we've used so many different words and languages around this, and it can get confusing. I promise we're working on internal terms so that you can understand best where you lie in the entire timeline of the ecosystem that we're building here. So if you are in the first 100,000 nests, you will benefit from all incubated projects and partnerships going forward, not just the ones that were created in the round you were in. So it sort of compounds as it goes. If you're in phase one, you'll be part of that profit model. And in phase two, we plan to raise more money because we want to grow this out and scale to size of the globe. You'll have access to that as well. So phase two will have access to phase two. Phase one will have access to phase one and phase two. And then phase three, if we get to the point of a phase three, which we plan we might, we'll see how phase two goes. Then you'll have phase two people will have access to phase two and phase three. And then phase one people will have access to phase one, two, and three. So early adopters always get the benefit. And most importantly, Luke is probably to tell them about the.
It's amazing.
That's incredible because you get the benefits of early adopters. I think the next thing that you need to tell them, and you got to be the one to deliver this one, is how the tokenomics is changing.
So we've changed the tokenomics, guys,
and it's amazing. It's brilliant. No one else has done it, and we have completely taken out all of the inherent sell pressure. I'll let Luke give you the details.
Not only have we taken out all the inherent sell pressure, we've actually put in buying pressure.
Inherent buy pressure, right?
Inherent buy pressure, yeah.
Yeah, it's really brilliant.
It's insane, isn't it?
You got to tell the story. You woke up in a dream one night and wrote this down. It's a true story, guys. Like we were talking one night, one day we were talking. Luke woke up from a dream. Tell him the story, man. It's amazing.
Eric and I, we couldn't quite get the problem. Everything we did just led to negative sell pressure, and we were we were breaking our backs. We've been working on this for weeks, and I was just laying in bed, just thinking about it. Just create 3D model in your head, don't you? And I just fell asleep thinking about it. And then, yeah, next morning woke up, bang, this idea came to my head. Jumped out of bed, straight into Eric. Eric, here's how we've solved it. And it works. It works.
I
So
was speechless.
yeah, we're very excited. So when the new smart contract launches, we will no longer be registering each nest created as a zero point 0.5 buy sell. These will now be recorded as buys. So that's huge news. So we hope this helps resolve some of your questions and concerns.
Yeah, so it's important to note that the zero point 0.5 fire that's sold goes into liquidity. That builds the liquidity pool, so we have enough liquidity for trading to happen. And it's one of those moments where you go, oh God, duh, why didn't I think of that? But it really is. It was just this moment where I was speechless and I went, wow, how did we not think of that? How has no one thought of that yet? That's incredibly powerful. And the way we've done it is just amazing. So now instead of every time someone creates a nest, there's going to be a sell, there's going to be a buy. So every time someone creates a nest or someone claims, there's going to be a buy order that goes in that naturally increases or stabilizes the price of the fire. It's amazing, guys. I literally can't wait to see it in action. I know from theory and mathematics it's going to work beautifully.
It's going to be massive, man. Yeah, we're
And
very,
nobody's
very
doing it.
excited.
Nobody else is doing it.
No one. I don't think anyone else has clocked on that they can do it yet. So yeah, really excited. Anything else? Anything else we need to go through, guys?
At this stage, I believe we've overwhelmed everyone in a good way. And I'm watching the Discord chat, and it appears everyone understands. But of course, that's a small snapshot. So what I'll do, Eric or Luke, whichever one want to do this, could you just quickly summarize one more time what's taking place? And then, of course, we'll direct everyone to the Medium blog post so everyone can revise it again. So, Luke, Eric, who wants to just give everyone a quick recap?
I'll do it. So we're transitioning from seed phase to growth phase on the first round. So we're going to be moving over to a revenue-based model for the first 100,000 nests. They receive stable tokens, airdropped. They will be able to trade these in via a bonding mechanism for a stable coin, which will be airdropped from the profits of the investments. Anything to add, Eric?
No, sorry. I was hunting for the mute button because I was in the general chat looking at the. It's hard. I'm on a laptop, so I don't have my second screen, so it's hard to go back and forth. I apologize. I didn't get the mute button quick enough, but that's a great overview, Luke. I'm sure we're going to have some questions and comments from the community going forward. So I think we just address those questions and comments as they come up.
We did have some questions in the AMA form, didn't we? A lot of those were answered in that last statement, but I think it's maybe good to go through the questions too, because they may help clarify some points for people, Jordan.
They sure will, and I have them ready right here. So again, everyone, be ready to come up on stage and ask your own questions once we've gone through these. So the first question, the cap is coming, as we all know, 100,000 nests. Probably this weekend, less human behavior changes. So keep an eye on that nest total, everyone. So does PCC currently have profits from any incubated projects that can be used to fund rewards immediately upon reaching the cap? I'll ask that question first, and Luke will come to you.
So we've covered this already in the previous statement, but just to clarify, so we're keeping the fire token active. All 100,000 nests will still be active, and they'll just receive a reward of 0.06 fire a day, which would be the new reward on that new token. On top of that, they will receive airdrop tokens at the end of the month from the profits of those projects, from the incubated projects. So as soon as they start returning profit, we'll be returning that back to the community. Now, we did say at the start we wanted to build up a 6-month bank. So we will be looking. We won't be releasing 100% of profits. We'll be going for sustainability. So we'll probably split 50-50 for the first 2 months, etc., until we build up 6 months in the pot, and then we'll be able to stabilize the reward system. Yeah.
So look, we've actually looked over something very important and very near and dear to the Phoenix Knights community. So that's the NFTs. How do the NFTs get treated? I mean, that is low-hanging fruit. We should have mentioned it. It's an oversight on our part that we didn't. But we have answers for that. So that's obviously going to be a common question. So the NFTs that you currently have, the Master and the NFT, the Master and the Grandmaster NFTs, still maintain their same reward boosts.
Yeah, they won't be changing.
Not changing at all, and they will still be available for purchase.
Yes.
So it's not going away. The boost is not going away. There's still many of them in the wild that you can capture. Now, there is a finite number of them. I don't have the exact figures in front of me because it's been a while. But we do have a finite number of those. So once they're gone, they're gone. But they're still available. They still have the boost. I feel like, hold on one second. I feel like there's a gunfight going on outside. Apologies.
Well, I really do hope not so. Eric, we hope you're safe, buddy. Please keep us updated. Whilst on that note, because crypto's never boring and nor is life, Luke, thank you for that answer on what's happening with payments once the cap is reached. And what's really important to highlight as well is prior to this announcement, we were saying XYZ token, 0.225 of this XYZ token, and that price would be reflected based on the profits our investments make. So instead of this whole new token at 0.225, instead we're like, well, people want predictability. We want ease of use. So airdropping the stablecoin made the most sense. And in the meantime, we removed fire previously. Let's put fire back into the equation. Let's give you some fire whilst you're waiting for your airdrop to come to you once the profits start coming in. So Luke, next question, coming to you, sir. Will there be downtime for the platform once Nest cap is reached? And how long are we looking from when the doors close to rewards being redeemable against the proposed token?
Well, this question came in before we released what we've released, obviously. So there's no real downtime for migration. It may be 12 hours for the migration over to the new smart contract. When the nest cap is reached, we take a snapshot of all 100,000 nests, first 100,000, and they are eligible for the stable drops. Then that's the door shut on that round of investment, first 100,000 nests. Then we upgrade to our V3 smart contract, which will still be returning fire. All nests will be active on this new smart contract, and the rewards, the buy-in remains the same at 10 fire, but the rewards on the new one become 0.06 fire a day. Apart from for NFT holders, NFTs still return their original fire. Lovely.
Perfectly put, Luke. Eric, everyone's telling you to tell everyone to shut up. Outside your window, you're doing an AMA.
I kid you not. It sounds like there's police out here and gunfire, and I was just trying to see if I need to take cover. It's really strange to think of in London, of all places. But
it won't be guns. We don't have guns in England. It's probably someone with a drum.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's not that. It might be fireworks, but it's not. It's definitely not a drum.
Might be a bad car backfiring.
Someone said Texas followed Eric to London. Maybe. I don't know. You should do these AMAs, by the way, looking at the general chat. It's amazing.
It is, isn't it? It really is.
Excellent. Well, look, I'll try and keep us on track, and I'll stay out of the general chat. But moving on to our next question, and we've got a couple more after this before we hand it over to everyone in here. So, Nest holders have been under the impression that they were investing in PCC, and their Nest would be rewarded by all future PCC profits, which I was under the impression as well. The risk taken by round one Nest holders, so that's everyone here in the first 100,000 nests, is what built the foundation of success to allow us to land bigger projects in the future. So this person wants to know, are we now to understand that round one nest holders will be blocked from the profits that have been funded by round two people, 100,000 onwards? Over to you, Luke.
Those who participated in round one will benefit from all future Phoenix Community Capital projects. There you go.
Fantastic answer.
Pretty cut and dry, isn't it? Man, we're looking like you boys and girls were here from the start. Thanks.
No doubt, no doubt. But a really good question, because that's a concern that many of you may or may not have. And we want to make sure that tomorrow when you wake up, you know exactly what we're doing here and you have a plan and a strategy moving forward. Second to last, the even bigger question is why. So let's move on. So why do we need a second round of funding? Right? Because surely we've got money in the treasury. We've got a number of investments lined up that people do and don't know about, some that I don't even know about. So if it's a case that we need more raw funds headed our way, not to mention profits from incubators going live, then why? Why do we need a second Ponzi-nomics phase 1? Eric, are you available? I'm going to assume Eric isn't available yet and still ducking for cover. So Luke, are you able to answer that for us?
Yeah, man. Why do we need a second round of funding? Why not? We've got a lot more investment opportunity that we think will return significant amounts of capital for the investment. We see some amazing holes in the market to get into. Why not run it again? We have created what could be one of the most powerful investment vehicles, and we're really bullish by that intent. We're talking in the right rooms to the right people. I think we can grow and develop this part of the industry, and help it become a better space. So yeah, man, like why do we need it? We need it because it's the right thing to do. Let's go and shape this space, guys. Let's do it. I'm down.
Brilliant answer indeed, Luke. Now, our last preloaded question from the community, which got the most votes, was: is there some news about round one nest holders not being eligible for future profits and only round two? I don't know if I misheard or read, but was just looking for clarification. Thank you. Luke, I feel like we've answered this before, but just to make sure everyone's clear, could you answer it one last time?
Yeah, man. Those who participated in round one will benefit from all future Phoenix Community Capital projects. Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, early adopters, first phase, and nest holders always get the best. That's the way we looked at it, and that's the way we wanted to present it. Early adopters should get the best rewards possible.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we came into a really, really rough space at a rough time, and now we're in a good place, a good time with good people around us. So yeah, man, let's do it.
And thank you for that iteration there, Eric, as well. Now, as promised, I'm a man of my word, 15 minutes less of the AMA, and we have 12 people requesting to speak. So again, if you'd like to come up on stage, ask your question, raise your hand. It's in the bottom part of your tab, and I'll be picking people at random to come up on stage. One question only. I'll give you 5 seconds to accept the little pop-up that asks you to come up on stage. Failing that, I'll have to move on to the next person. Luke, Eric, are we ready?
Yeah, and to all the people in the general chat, I'm fine. I haven't been shot. I'm not ducking for cover. I'm on the 8th floor of a very nice hotel. I just couldn't resist the spectacle of what sounded like a shootout. So
That's great to hear.
I
So the
am
first
ready.
person up on stage, Spleege M.
they're really going after the shooting.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm now calling up the next person. Sadly, Spleege M didn't accept. So Gault. You guys need easier usernames for me. Why do you make my job so much harder?
Right? Why can't it be Eric or Luke or Jordan? Right? Why's there
Well,
got to be some pseudonym?
this is Red Danny 2017. That seems pretty easy to read. Hello, Danny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? You okay?
Very good, thanks. How can we help?
Excellent. So I've just got two quick questions. The first one is, on old AMAs, you had said something along the lines of the NFT cost was going to be kind of tracking the price of AVAX, so it would always be a relatively similar number. With the price of the Fire token dropping now, the NFTs have become a lot more expensive in terms of using your Fire tokens to buy them. Is there any plan to adjust that, or is that going to stay set as it is at 35 for the master?
I anticipate it staying the same when we move over to the new smart contract. They're going to become more valuable because of the higher rewards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the next question would be then, when this cap hits, I know you said before that some people who wanted to sell and get out, that would have the option to do that. Is there going to be kind of a secondary market for nests? So for instance, when we hit the cap, if we still want to get more, but we can't sort of mint any new nests, will we be able to buy other people's that want to sell them so we can still maybe get to a higher level of NFTs, etc.?
Yeah and no. So we're still shaping out what that looks like and how it will operate. So I don't really want to give any more away at this point, please. But yes and no is the answer.
Okay, so there is a potential light at the tunnel if we want more, but don't have the time to get it before the cap.
We're looking into it heavily.
Okay. And I suppose just the last comment would be, when is the planned investments with this SEC guy? When are they planned to kind of start happening?
Which SEC guy?
You had an accredited investor, an SEC accredited investor.
Okay, yeah. So,
he's on the team already. What do
man.
What do you want to know about him? He's been on the team. He's on the payroll. Has been contracted as a consultant before that, but yeah, he's on the team already. What do you want to know about him specifically?
So I believe he was being brought on to help invest the money of the Treasury. Is that happening now, or is that something?
No. He's been doing that for weeks.
Oh, okay. So is he involved in that $500,000 investment that happened recently?
Everything we talk about goes to him as a sounding board. So a lot of stuff gets brought to myself and Luke directly, and we always take it to Matting and the team and let them review it with us. We don't make any decisions on our own, just the two of us or just one of us. So yeah, he has a say in everything that we talk about. As a matter of fact, this last week he was in London with us, and he sat in on I think every one of our meetings. I don't think there was a single meeting we had with a prospective investment that he didn't sit in on.
Okay, so will we, as someone looking at the dashboard,
like
will I start to see the Treasury balance switch over to the funds invested, or will that be represented differently, or not at all?
I'm confused on the question. So you want to see the data presented in a different way?
My understanding was, as the Treasury had been building up previously, on the dashboard you see kind of Treasury, I think it was about 1.2 million, something like that. And then to the right of that you see current investments, which was 84,000 and is now has grown. Is that going to start going, like, is the Treasury money going to start being invested and moving over to that column?
Yes, you should see the shift in that number being recorded from Treasury value to money invested at that point. Yes, and you guys will know about stuff that we buy into and how much we're buying and what the payout is We don't hide the details. We've shared details on everything we've invested in so far.
Perfect. And so just to
Some
clarify,
of the stuff, to be fair, we haven't actually done it with. So Spectrum NFT, that was funded entirely out of our operating budget. That wasn't even done with treasury funds.
High of life, natural high.
oh, fabulous. Okay. And just with what you guys have mentioned tonight, the new information with the reward model, am I right in saying then that?
Dan, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. I'm going to cut you off. It's one and done.
Yeah, I told you.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Thank you,
We had
guys.
like a one question limit. You've gone on to about 5. Happy to entertain them. Put them in the general chat. I'm in there right now. I do respond to people. So
100%.
No worries.
It's
Thank
just
you, guys.
unfair of the rest. No worries, brother. Thank you. Let's get next up.
it's hard not to ask a lot of questions. I understand where that comes from.
I do.
Torrance, we've requested for you to join us. If you're not able to, there you go. Torrance, welcome up on stage.
Just for anybody, and just real quick, Jordan, for anybody who gets invited on stage, if you haven't been on stage before, there is a little green icon. It's very subtle at the top of your screen if you're on a desktop or on your phone. You have to click that to accept the invite to come on stage. It's not an automatic thing.
All right.
Hello,
Torrance.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, we
loud and
can.
clear. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
All right, I'll keep it real quick.
Thanks.
Will Series A and B investors be earning the same fire token in rewards once the nest cap hits?
The same fire token, yes. However, the first round, the first 100,000 nests will also be getting profit distribution from the investments that were made in the first round. And phase 2 will not be getting those because they're not part of the first phase funding. Does that make sense?
6 o'clock.
But the
That
same
makes
token
perfect
will be
sense.
used. Yeah, same token.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much, guys. I love all that you guys do.
No.
Thanks, man. We love you as well.
Hey,
Thanks
cereal.
for coming up.
Yeah.
Excellent. So again, everyone, round 1, that's all of you in here,
Fuck it.
up to 100,000 nests.
I mean-
Round 2
I don't know.
will be future nest holders, 100,000 and 1 plus. So we're bringing up, I can't even say this out loud,
I can't eat
but you
that
know who you are. Welcome up on stage.
shit. Nasty. I don't know why. I just can't.
None. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Wagwan Shata. All right. So my question is, are the daily rewards going to continue on as soon as the 100K nest cap is reached? And what's the timeline for when you expect to start paying out nest holders after the nest cap?
Good
Yeah,
question.
brilliant question. First part is yes, the denominator for, or the delimiting factor for when the payouts will stop or change is going to be when we have our next smart contract audited by CERTIC and initiated, published. So we are going to take a snapshot at the first 100,000, so we know who the first 100,000 nests are. It's going to keep going until we get to the second or the third smart contract. This is actually the third smart contract we're working on. We're currently on the second one. There was a first one that most of you have never seen, unless you were in the first week of operations. So this will be the third smart contract. When the third smart contract goes in place, CERTIC has approved it, audited it, ensured that it's secure. That's when the change will happen. But we will do a snapshot of the first 100,000 to make sure that only those nests are receiving the airdrops of profits from the first round. And what was the second part of the question? I apologize. I get lost in sometimes the ADD of myself.
That's all right. Sometimes my accent gets in the way. So second question was, what's the timeline for when you expect to start paying out nest holders after the nest cap is reached?
Oh, the profit shares. What do we think, Luke? We have a projected timeline for a couple of the projects launching. Right,
Yeah.
for Spectrum and for Swapsicle, they're very near term. Maybe not in
Very
terms
near
of crypto, not in terms of crypto, because one day in crypto is like 7 years in the real world. So maybe not in the next 48 hours, but in the next few weeks to 4 weeks, we should start seeing revenues coming in, and probably the first monthly payout will be in June, if I had to guess. But don't hold me to it. I should have said that first instead of after. Sorry.
That's all right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much. Keep it up. Looking forward to what you guys do in the future.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming up, man. Who's next?
For sure. Mikey P.
Mikey P.
What's up, fellas?
How you doing, man? You alright?
I'm real good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks. I'm alright.
Great. Just quickly, I just wanted to get clarity because I think I heard two different things. When you refer to the master NFTs, do they keep their reward boost or their reward rate?
Boost.
Okay. Just wanted that clarity. Thank you.
Yeah, they'll still have the same boost effect, but not at the same rate that you're at now, because the base rate is what's changing. They've always been a boost. They've never been a guaranteed output rate.
Sweet. Clear enough. Thank you. That's all. Thank you very much.
I know who this Mikey is. He helped us out in the VIP section, looking after all the VIPs. So thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Mikey.
It's a pleasure. And it was great to meet everyone that I did meet on that night.
I know you. Yes. Yes. How are you, man? I recognize your voice now. Yeah, good. Yeah, nice one. Thank you, bro.
No worries. Thank you, fellas.
No worries. We'll see you soon, yeah?
Ciao.
Yes.
Right then, we've got someone from Firebirds. I believe it's Eva on Twitter, but on here she's Ditzy Biologist Firebird. What a name. Eva, lovely to see you in our little world.
Hey.
Love you too. I'm kind of anxious, so excuse me for that. Okay, so the question is, are the 100,000, nest holders whitelisted for phase 2? And are we able to use fire tokens to invest in phase 2?
Yes and yes.
Okay, that's perfect. That was actually all I wanted to know.
I gotta pick up Billy's teeth too.
And before you kick me back
Picture
to the
of both
audience,
teeth.
I just want to say thank you, a massive thank you to the PCC community, and I think they know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you do know?
So much. Thank you for coming up.
Right, thank you.
Our pleasure, Eva. Our pleasure. And you know my DMs are open to you and the Firebirds team. Just to reiterate, everyone, verbiage, I'm going to nail it in. So will Showtime, so will the rest of the team. Remember, we are all moving to phase 2, where we are now, of course, looking to develop our funds. Round 2 will be where you can create more nests, but that's 100,001 nests onwards. Okay, so round 2, 100,001 nests onwards, moving forward, and those are the ones who will only get access to the profits from the investments moving forward. All the ones that you know of today, we get access to them. Round 2 nests do not. All right, so sorry to keep beating that drum, everyone. And I know it's all new terms, and our Medium blog straight after this will help you with that verbiage. Next up, Lucas, bringing you to stage, Lucas Brato.
Hey, hello everyone.
Hey, Lucas.
Hey, man. Nice
I
to
have
meet you.
a little question because I am doing some match here and I don't know how this gonna be end. So the question is, how the price of the fire on the token V1 gonna be increased because we don't have some utility, right? Because we're gonna reach the next cap. So it's like we are going to tape this for like 1 month now, and you got this, and like in 1 month the price will crash because we don't have like to buy more nests to increase the token, right? Hello?
Can you repeat that for me? Just having some trouble understanding the question the way it was presented.
Okay, so I want to know the price of the fire on token V1, okay? Because we're gonna reach the cap, and it's like on this month the price is like 17, right? So like how the price on the fire will increase because we don't have any utility. You gotta to burn the token to increase the token, you know.
Entiendo.
So we don't really speculate on token price. It's traded on an open market, and that's based on market sentiment, not intrinsic value necessarily. So as the founders, we have no idea what the price of the token is going to do. We did talk about burning tokens. However, I think we're not doing that anymore. Is that right, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were looking into a halvening, and we're still running the maths on it. We want to see how our new tokenomic plays out in our V3 smart contract first. We still see an opportunity for this to grow in a nice way, and we have plans for utility for Fire moving forward. The key for us is keeping Fire active. It's what sustains us. So we're not stopping the Fire token at 100,000 nests. The Fire token will continue, and the way we've written the smart contract puts in buying pressure too. So it's going to be interesting, and we think it's going to play out nicely. But I see your concerns, and I thank you, because we have thought long and hard about how to how to sustain it. Thank you.
I just have one more question, and I say, Luke and Eric, you have a great mind. It's very smart. I like it so much on the project. I am not early, but I know how the business is, and I like the method. Okay. So for the last question is, what about the Fire one become become NFT like tradable?
So in order to
Just reiterate.
in order to do the token drop, we're going to be dropping an NFT to the first 100,000 nests. That's how we're going to do the stable drop. So we're just in the process of doing that. Now with those NFTs, we intend for them to be tradable assets. So we'd like them to be listable. So that just gives you an idea of where we're going with it.
All right, thank you.
De nada, Lucas. Obrigado por sua pergunta.
Bye bye.
Ciao, mano. Okay.
Good questions, man.
Now, fellas, I noticed we are 2 minutes over, and I understand everyone's got busy lives as well that they need to return to. And of course, we've got the Medium blog could go out straight after this. Luke, Eric, how long can you give us?
I'm just sitting in a hotel room in London.
I'm pretty tired.
Okay.
I could use an early night. Maybe do another 20 minutes.
Okay. Let's go for another 20. And let's see how many more we can get through there. So we do apologize for anyone that's been left out. But again, don't fear. Put all your questions into our general chat. You will be heard. A mod will get back to you, or at least Luke or Eric. Big Dano, welcome up on stage.
Hey, man.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome to the show.
Loud and clear.
How are you guys doing?
Fantastic tonight.
Very good, man.
All right,
Yourself?
yeah, man. Quick question, because earlier Luke was, you guys were talking about that amazing idea that Luke had in his dream with turning the 0.5 from sell to buy. But my question is, because we're going to hit the nest cap, of course, there's not going to be any more nests built. So after that, what is the 0.5 like? How would it be created? Is it going to be in V2 when the new nest holders create their nests? That's going to turn into buy pressure, or where's that going to come from?
Yes, exactly that. And it's not 0.5 Fire anymore. It's going to be an AVAX flat rate purchase of how much Fire we can get with that price, and that will be added to liquidity. So it's no longer going to be a set amount of Fire. It'll be a set amount of AVAX instead.
Okay, that was my question. Completely clear now. I completely understand it. And yeah, brothers, you guys take care. Have a good night. Luke, hope you have a good rest. And Eric, please stop looking for the spectacles of gunfire outside the hotel.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
It's worth mentioning in the AMA here in audio, because some of you may not be watching the general chat, but I did make a statement in the general chat, just so everyone's clear. The nest creation is not stopping at 100,000. It's just the first 100,000 nests created will be part of phase 1, and then nest creation will continue as a funding round for not phase 2, round 1, and then a nest creation will continue and be part of round 2. Within each round, we have phases. Phase 1 is seed, phase 2 is grow, and phase 3 is harvest. And those are the terminologies we've chosen to go with to represent what we're doing with each investment.
Perfectly reminded everyone. Moving forward, we're going to bring up a master NFT holder. I forget that I can see all these little titles. Siscalypsy. Siscalypsy. There we go. How do you
Thank you.
pronounce your name? I'm so sorry if I butchered it.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's actually Cisco Lips. You know, like apocalypse.
Cisco
Oh,
Lips.
nice. I like it. I like it.
Yes, yes. How you guys doing? Quick question. So the NFTs, are they going to hold some kind of value where they're going to be tradable in the future?
So we've
Like,
talked about
just like
tradable. Right now
just
they're
like
not
we
tradable.
would-
We have talked about
Uh-huh.
tradable NFTs.
Okay, so we're not going to be able to sell our Fire NFTs in the future at all.
Maybe
No.
once they're all sold, maybe we'll take another look at it. But right now they're tied to the nest holders in that wallet.
Yeah, so the Master and Grandmaster NFTs aren't able to be sold. They're going to be more of a
Okay,
trophy
second
piece in the future.
Second question, gentlemen. I apologize for interrupting. I was told that even after the cap, we can still buy the NFTs to increase that 0.05 on our nests. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right, and I'm assuming that's until we cap the NFTs.
That's until all of the NFTs run out, yes.
Great. Well, thanks for taking my call. Muchas gracias, caballeros. Hasta pronto.
It's a pleasure, brother. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for being concise. Appreciate it.
Y nada,
you, sir.
hermano. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Hey, turn up like the Migos. Right, stop feeding, please, aka you're coming up next. Show my little trilingualness. Although I still can't speak English.
Hey fellas, how's it going? Quick question. I was just wondering, the same thing as Lucas, but maybe I could fix his question a little bit better. He was trying to ask what kind of utility was the Fire token receive since the cap was coming, but then you guys mentioned it was going, Fire 2.0 was basically going right after. It's not going to stop. So that kind of got questioned, but is there any more utility coming on top of Pops and the new nests for the Fire token?
When you say utility, you mean is there the investments backing it?
What I mean is,
backing the value on the
right
market?
now right now we receive Fire, and our choice is to sell it for money or to create nests, right? That's the utility the Fire token has.
Right.
Soon Pops will help us be able to stake. I was just wondering if we have anything else in the pipeline that we will be able to do with the Fire token to try to pop up price or keep price higher.
So we currently have, and I'm aware of this. Luke is aware of this. We've mentioned it before in another AMA, maybe last week, or not last week, but week before last. There are some other interesting things that are happening with the Fire token. One of them is an Airbnb. I don't remember what country it is. Luke, maybe you can remind me, or Jordan, you can. But there is a company receiving Fire token as a means of payment for Airbnb rentals.
That's correct.
It's in Portugal.
Portugal,
Now,
yeah. I thought so. I didn't want to say it and be incorrect.
I understand the utility question, and I'm going to dodge it this week because we'd like Swapsicle to launch before we show you some of the utility that we have lined up with it.
Would there be a chance for like a discount on Spectrum by chance, or anything it used on Spectrum?
Yeah, man, we plan to have Fire utility at Spectrum as well. And, you know, Master and Grandmaster NFTs will be recognized for ranges, etc. It really is a treat to Phoenix Knights, this entire ecosystem. You know, we've made it as nice as possible. I think is a good way to put it.
Okay, and last but not least, so we're going for round 2, and you mentioned round 3 of nest holders, 100K. is there a reason why we don't just take a percentage of the treasury that we earn to rebuild the treasury for other investments? Like if we took 2 to 5% of whatever 1.0 would be earning, is there a reason why we don't do that rather than more seed rounds?
Yeah, so the biggest reason is because we want to maximize the return on investment for the investors who bought in on the first round. But more importantly, the second round is a fundraising round as well. So there will be funds raised there, just like there were in the first round, but more efficiently without the selling pressure.
Gotcha. And that was it, man. I appreciate you guys. I just most of the questions were answered when I was waiting in line, so I kind of had to come up off the cusp. So
hey, you don't have to do that. Sometimes you can just come up and say, "Hey, you guys are awesome. We really love you. Appreciate it. Tell a good story. We like that too."
All right. Well, thank you guys very much.
Or say you're complete shit and I hate you. One of the two.
No, we're
challenging
not.
questions.
Not today.
Not challenging questions.
But thank you guys very much, and I'm out. That's all.
Thank you, man.
And we keep it on. We've got 9 more minutes with Luke. Hey, I see someone special in our audience. The node catcher. This man's been in my ear from day one, pointing out holes for us to fill.
He was the Phoenix catcher at one point. I don't know what happened.
People like to troll, so I was like, okay, I don't want any more drama. So, anyway.
Yeah, you didn't say face on Twitter. I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have 2 questions for you guys. It'll be quick. So if someone buys or let's say someone has 9 phase 1 nests, and then they buy 1 phase 2 nest, which puts them at 10 nests, will that phase 2 nest allow you to buy NFT?
Yes. So the way the smart contract's written, it's not. It doesn't really care. So yes.
Cool.
Just the profit airdrop's only going to be affected by the first 9 that you had in anything in second round, but you still qualify for the metrics that we require for purchasing the NFT. And by the way, I might say when we first started this project, the requirement to buy the NFT was actually to keep people from just making a run on the NFTs and creating a secondary market for them.
All right. So my other question, what would be the reward ratio between phase 1 holders and phase 2 holders of the phase 2 incubators?
You explain what you mean by ratio. I want to make sure we answer it correctly.
So, let's say, for example, we had the phase 2 incubators and they're earning $100 million a month, for example.
Right.
And so will phase 1 holders get 50% of that or 25% of that?
Phase 2 holders won't get anything of phase 1. Phase 1 will get part of phase 2, but think of it as divided by 200,000 distributed equally.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Does that make sense? That's the concept at this point. Open to suggestions and considerations and comments.
Of course.
The idea is to reward the first adopters with the most output possible.
Yeah.
While maintaining some really good rewards for the second round holders as well.
So just one last thing. It's not a question. So Luke, I sent you some very important messages. You too, Jordan. Hope you guys can check them out and let me know what you guys think.
And you didn't send them to me. I'm offended.
I mean, I could.
I'm kidding. Please do, but I'm kidding. Not really.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I literally,
All right, guys.
I'll have a look this evening and I'll get back to you.
Awesome.
Thanks,
all right,
man.
you guys have a good night.
You too, brother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, we've probably got time for 2 more, maybe 3 for a quick. So now I'm picking out randomly JB CSEI. Welcome up this even eye. See what I did there? Okay, I hope I didn't scare you with my terrible rhyming. I do apologize, it's late here. Sadly, JB, if you can't unmute yourself in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to have to use my powers and move you down to the audience. And you're gone, but if you raise your hand again, I will keep an eye out for you and bring you back up, alright? 1031 investor, welcome up. love the Firebird. Just to let you know, you're muted. Unmute yourself at the bottom of your window. There you go.
Hey guys, hey family. Thank you for everything. You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you guys are amazing. I'll make it quick. I know that you guys have been on for a long time. I'm just trying to get some transparency. I know that you guys talked on this topic, but I think some of us are confused just slightly. So you guys confirmed that you're going to take a snapshot to 100K nests. We understand the transition to the production rate changing to 0.06, as well as the revenue sharing. What happens to the Series B or round 2? What's their production rate? I think maybe Eric might have mentioned it. It's subject to some of that CertiK certification, but maybe you can clarify what Series B production rate will be for Fire. That is, of course.
Can you define the term production rate?
Sorry, the rate of when it generates. So the original rate is 0.225, right, per nest.
I see. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So the question is for the Series B folks, which obviously a lot of your Series A folks will also be part of Series B. I think that's why we're curious. What will that be moving forward?
Yeah, the base rate is 0.06. The NFTs that have the boosts, the Master and Grandmaster NFTs, still maintain their boost. So you can get extra rewards out of those, but it does go down to 0.06 per nest per day.
Got it. So the entire community goes down to that rate.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You guys answered my question. Thank you so much. That's all from me.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. Cheers for popping up.
And it looks like we may be able to squeeze in 2 more before Luke falls asleep on us. So, bringing up Crazy J with another little Firebirds icon. Welcome up on stage.
Thank you for having me. Quick question. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but is there an estimated cap for phase 2?
Yes, 300,000.
300,000 additional nests or 300,000 total?
No, sorry, that's total. Yes, total. So it's going to be delineated by 100,000 nests each time.
Okay, so assuming that the next one will be 6,000 for phase 3, if we do have a phase 3?
Yeah, for now, that's what we're thinking, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for answering my question.
No problem. And just again, I'm that verbiage guy. We're talking about rounds. All of us are moving to phase 2. Round 2 is going to be 101,000 nests moving forward. So we're all part of round 1. Round 1, phase 2 is now taking place. That's what we're moving to. Round 2 will be the next load of nests. That'll be the next cap. And they'll be the ones who get the profits from next investments moving forward. I hope that helped clarify, Crazy J.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Nice. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. And again, it's one of those things. Change. There's always a little bit of friction with change. As our comms team, we're all working together to make sure all of us get up to speed with this verbiage as soon as possible. Because as soon as you're confused, you fear it. And if you fear it, you won't engage. So rest assured, we're going to keep educating every single one of you as we make our transition to round 1, phase 2. What's up, King? Long time no see. You're unmuted now. We can hear you.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Although you're unmuted, I can't hear you.
Is he secondary mute?
Check your mic. No to us. If not, buddy, I really want you to be the last one. Check your output. Make sure it's your mic and not your speaker. That happens to me sometimes. Sometimes my speaker is my mic and my mic is my audio. Hate to do it to you, no to us. In fact, I'll leave you on stage, bro. We'll bring up one more person and we'll come to you at the end because I know you might have something you want to share. So next up and finally, Nest Kebab. I can never read some of these names with a straight face. Nes Kebab, are you there?
Love it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, how
Yes.
you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I just want to say you guys are awesome. I have full faith in this team. I've invested quite a bit. But my story is that I've been trying to grab lunch with Eric for some time in Texas now, but hopefully pretty soon. And
I'm
that's
not.
all
I
I
see.
have.
I'm not in Texas. That's the problem.
Right, right.
They keep dragging. They drug me out to London for an entire week. It's been a joy, but can't wait to get back to Texas. I miss
Alrighty.
steak. Honestly, they don't do steak the same way we do.
Right, definitely. Well, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Hey, can
Thanks,
you guys hear me
mate.
now?
Yeah,
There we
Hey.
go. I had to reload my app.
well done, man. Welcome
Hey,
back.
so just getting up here, I wanted to ask on behalf of Griffin Kingdom, what does the Nest extension have to do, or how does that affect Griffin Kingdom?
The Griffin
Uh,
Kingdom nests are a part of phase one, round one. Excuse me, round one.
Perfect. Yeah, that's all I wanted to hear. It's just for everyone that's been messaging me, asking me to clarify. So
yeah, man.
the reserved nests for Griffin Kingdom are a part of round one, which will fall under the profit share
Yes.
kind of basis.
Exactly that.
Perfect.
Exactly that.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
guys. That's all I wanted to get clarified. So I really appreciate you guys' time, and
my pleasure, man.
don't party too hard, guys, in London.
It's all work for
Yeah, no,
me.
not too hard. Just hard enough. They can't handle it over here, so they can't hang. I'll just be honest.
Yeah, well, I think they actually have more pubs there than we have churches in the United States. So be careful, Eric.
That's
This
okay.
is true.
Actually, I did do a pub crawl in Notting Hill, 2 days ago, and I was still walking at the end. So I don't know. Bar hopping in Texas is probably more effective.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
I don't drink alcohol, so
Yeah, neither do I.
So Luke doesn't get a vote. Luke doesn't get a vote. So yeah, take my
I'd,
word
I'd,
for it, Luke.
I'd be a boring party or pub hopper.
yeah, me too. Me
I will
too.
say this about London, so I don't want to end on a negative note about London. I'm just joking, by the way. These are all jokes, and if you don't like them, I'm sorry. Don't get offended. I'm really just joking at the end of the day. But I will say this: fashion in London is very unique, and I really enjoy shopping for clothes in London and the London fashion scene. So you got that going for you.
Yeah, but it's
I mean, have
is
you
it?
seen Jordan in one of those suits that he posts them up on Twitter? I mean, look at
Well,
snap.
no, that's not London. Jordan's on a whole different level.
Oh.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Well, I appreciate
Thanks,
you
guys.
guys. I appreciate the AMA and all the great information. And there's Showtime. How you doing, Showtime?
I'm doing well. I wanted to know, are we about to finish, Jordan? Because there was something that I wanted to announce just before we close off.
Ooh, we are indeed done with Luke and Eric. They have been rendered useless. Thank you, gentlemen. Showtime, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So when I was a kid, the after parties were just as exciting as the regular parties. And there's been some folks on Twitter who have been doing some some pre-AMA Twitter Spaces and some post-AMA Twitter Spaces. There's a lot of people here with their questions still, it looks like. I can't say we can get to all of you guys, but we're going to go and host a post-AMA Twitter Spaces right after this ends. If you want to find that, I will tweet it out on my Twitter, and we'll also post it in the general chat as well. Me and Gavin will be in there answering questions if you'd like to join us.
Nice. That's a brilliant idea. Thanks, Showtime. Is there anything else we need to go through, guys? I think we're all done. We've had a really, really busy couple of weeks, and guys, I hope you love what we've come up with. We anticipate loads of questions, and we're here to answer and support and show you as we grow. But we like to do what we say we're going to do. So yeah, we apologise we've been quiet, but we have been really busy, and we have a really busy couple of weeks ahead of us as well. But the future's bright, and we're loving it. So on behalf of me, I love you all, guys. Thank you so much for your support and guidance, and to the team around us. Thank you, guys. Let's go and do this. Yeah, have a lovely one.
And we'll see you same time, same place. Well, actually, no, not same time. Wow, Jordan, well done for messing up the ending. I should have just left it to Luke.
Love you all, guys. Peace out.
Peace out, family. We'll see you next week. Ciao for now.